All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Richmond.
And they'll go on the ground. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Richmond.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They go play action here on first down. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mariota now on 2nd down. Pass incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Play fake, Mariota. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. First down, Mariota escaping the pressure right. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee. And it's 2nd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Mariota again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Mariota. Going deep here for Taylor. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 43. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back, come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Richmond.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. On the tackle, it was Dane Cruikshank.
Richmond.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Reset.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. Throw right side caught by Davis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Mariota. Caught right side, Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
It's taken to the 26. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor.
And got his man complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Watson now going to run the option right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run. A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
Thinking pass. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got Fuller. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. Now Dion Lewis to return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throw taken in by Taylor left side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be third down.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. 3. Check nickel. 1.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
3. 1.
Mariota on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th. On the give, this is their fullback. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Following the interception here, Mariota flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right, and this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Richmond. Reset.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Richmond.
The final shot before the break, Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Second down, Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Richmond.
After the interception, here's Watson trying to lay one up deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A huge play there for Houston. 43 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Back to throw, Watson. His pass caught at the 4. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
That was a simple throw and catch, but even...
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And a lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, Mariota throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
One. Three.
On third down, Mariota. And the third down pass falls incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Now a 1st down throw. Watson caught left side Hopkins. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
Richmond.
To throw on second is Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Tiger.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
Richmond. Come back.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
Here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Point after, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Well, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. On the crossing route, complete. It's Fuller. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Watson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Watson just beating the play clock. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Richmond.
Watson off play action. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Watson now to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Back now in Houston. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Throwing is Mariota, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now Mariota. Pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now the football is going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans will extend their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And here's Lewis. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
A big play that time for the Titans. 47 yards on the ground. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator about that. I just call the plays. We should have had this going right from the beginning.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Richmond. Tiger.
Here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Texans continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception, we'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Hey. Got three. Gun!
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And his first throw here is incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Watch it now, Barney!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Going deep here for Taylor. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary can really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Titans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Mariota. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Larry Ogunjobi in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Gun! Over!
On play action, they'll throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Bernardrick McKinney coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. The Titans on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 14.
Three.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. It is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
Keep it rolling. One.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
4. We got 4.
Red, black 22, black 22.
Right there in the middle, 55. Check, 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 check.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
it.